it's a weird world out there. I mean, me personally, sometimes before this show, I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know if I got it in me.
All right, before we begin the show, let's thank our great sponsors. Our title sponsor, Once Upon a Coconut, all natural, non-GMO coconut water with natural electrolytes and no added sugar. You can choose from pure blueberry, pineapple, watermelon, sparkling energy, and chocolate with Once Upon a Coconut. Stay hydrated and refreshed. Plus, 10% of profits go to charity that benefit our communities, including the Down Syndrome Foundation, Breast Cancer Foundation, and the Leukemia Society. Find out where Once Upon a Coconut is sold nearest you by going to onceuponacoconut.com, put in your zip code, or you can order online. But when you do that, at checkout, make sure you put in the discount code BSPodcast10 and save yourself some gatuses. Inspect All Pest Services, inspectallservices.com. They do it all. They provide the highest quality termite, pest, and wildlife control, but they do so much more. Yes, they do. They take care of your insulation, pressure washing, gutter maintenance, and other home services in Metro Atlanta and the surrounding area. Again, inspectallservices.com, and thanks to Inspect All Pest Services for sponsoring all of our guests on all of the podcasts. It's the Mad Dog, Manny Aurora, with the Aurora Law Firm. TheAuroraLawFirm.com. He's got experience litigating all over the United States, so it doesn't matter where you listen to the BPX, the Mad Dog Manny Aurora and the Aurora Law Firm can help. Whether it's criminal defense, white-collar crime, DUI, drug offenses, appeals, and more, it's the Mad Dog Manny Aurora to the rescue. You can always go to jasonbailey.com for any legal questions that you have for the Mad Dog that we'll bring up on an episode of The BS. It's Ridgeline Counseling. Dr. David Markwell, one of the greatest human beings in the entire world of America. He's got 10 therapists in-house that work with him there at Ridgeline Counseling. 3 locations in Georgia, one across from Sprayberry High School in Sandy Plains. That's in East Cobb, Marietta near the Square, and McKaysville just outside of Blue Ridge. If you listen to the BPX anywhere, you can get help from Ridgeline Counseling and Dr. David Markwell and his team. They do virtual sessions. Just go to markwelltherapy.com for all that information. If you need help and you need someone to talk to, he is the best in the business. That is markwelltherapy.com. Alternate Power Solutions of Georgia. Love these guys. Family owned and operated. They're a Generac generator dealer, founded in 2012, offering sales, service, installation, and repair of automatic home standby and portable generators. And every single one of you as a customer at Alternate Power Solutions, you'll get an upgraded warranty, free monitoring with a service contract. They offer flexible financing, which is great, semi-annual and annual service contracts for existing installations and warranty repair. They have an A+ rating with the BB&B, and you pay nothing until the job is complete and you, the customer, are a happy camper. Servicing Georgia and Tennessee. Here's the phone number, 770-853-7571. Or you can go online to poweringgeorgia.com. Make sure you use the discount code Bailey for $500 off your entire installation. And a big thanks to MVP Walk-In Tub and Shower of Atlanta. Beautiful, affordable bathing solutions. MVP Walk-In Tub and Shower is a local, family-owned company committed to enhancing your bathroom experience in Metro Atlanta. They're going to provide the highest quality, safe, and affordable walk-in tubs and showers, focusing solely on installations that elevate your home's comfort and accessibility. They service all of Atlanta, Georgia. No commission sales guys. None of that. No hassles. No high-pressure tactics. Call them at 404-493-6888, or you can go online to mvpwalkins.com to schedule your no-hassle appointment. You want $2,000 off? Not a problem. They're going to do that. You'll receive $2,000 off when you mention the BPX, Bailey Podcast Exchange, or any of the shows, mvpwalkins.com. And finally, Central Florida's first and only ozone therapy spa, Alive Ozone Therapy Spa in Altamont Springs, Florida, servicing all of Central Florida, Orlando, and beyond. Not only offering ozone therapy or activated oxygen therapy non-invasively through the Hocket sauna, red light therapy, halo therapy, presso therapy, PEMF, as well as numerous in-house ozone-infused products like that magnesium butter that you love. Go to AliveOzoneTherapySpa.com and get the products there. If you're in and around the area, you can book an appointment online. Alive Ozone Therapy Spa also has a brand new app that you can find with your iPhone and or your Android phone. Just go where you download your apps, or you can go to AliveOzoneTherapySpa.com. Again, thanks to all of our great sponsors. We couldn't do it without you. If you are a business and we can help your brand, please go to jasonbailey.com. There's a section right there on the website for you to send me your information, and we will have that conversation. With all of that being said, let's begin.
I think we should do a podcast about rock and roll. And that's some stories.
Yeah, let's do it. Welcome to the Vinyl Road Podcast.
There it is, episode 20 of the Vinyl Road Podcast, all on the BPX. That is the Bailey Podcast Exchange. 3 different shows, 5 days a week. What? All on one feed. Get all your details, jasonbailey.com. Thanks to all of our great sponsors. Our title sponsor, Once Upon a Coconut, onceuponacoconut.com. Use the discount code BS Podcast 10 at checkout so you can save yourself, as I like to say, some Gaituses. Thanks for being here. My name's Jason Bailey. There's the man himself, Mr. Brad Stewart.
Hey. How about you? How you doing?
And looks like you finally found it. The shirt.
I thought you'd get a kick out of it. Yeah, man. I flew home on the red eye after the New Mexico show. And I knew we were going to do this a day earlier than we usually do, but I dug it out of the closet. I fucking found it. My wife couldn't find it. I was supposed to wear it at the Sacramento show. I know, and I'm sorry, man, but I got it now. So next year.
The only reason I wanted you to wear the BS t-shirt, the Bailey Show t-shirt, was if you were going to do an interview with my former radio station in Sacramento. That stuff makes me laugh, right? It would have been hilarious to see pictures of you walking into their little setup, sitting down and doing the interviews with the guy. And I know the guy that was doing them, and he's a very nice guy. And this is not a shot to him by no stretch of the imagination. And it's not even a shot to the radio station. I've got no ill will because all the bad people are gone from that radio station. And it's actually run now by a great guy who I used to work with in Orlando. I just thought it'd be funny because I'm into stupid stuff like that, but it didn't happen. So maybe another day.
And honestly, there were so many people in the artist area / media area. They were buried. I mean, it was they're making these fresh pizzas right there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had the pass, you get, it was like literally a wood fired oven right there backstage. And they're putting them in so fast, like they couldn't even keep up with the people in line. And then drinks were free too. So we went over there a few times. Yeah, it was, but then you look over and then there was the tables where they're interviewing everybody and stuff. And, they didn't reach out to me personally. I don't think Bobby did anything for them specifically. So they wouldn't have seen me or it or cared most likely because it just didn't happen. Plus my wife couldn't find it to bring it to me because she flew out. And anyway, it's all good, man.
Have you ever gotten in the 30-ish years of you being in the rock and roll business, have you ever gotten a random phone call from someone you don't know that wants to interview you right then and there?
No.
Really?
Yeah. No, I've had people ask me, a lot. They have their own internet radio show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah. And I kind of research it. And, man, unless I'm like, we're like putting out a record or doing like promoting stuff. And now that I have this with you, I'm kind of like, no, I'm good. I do it enough. This is it. This is the fucking newscast right here, brother. Get everything you want or ask us a question online or whatever,
that's today's world too, is, like I see that with not necessarily this show because all of our guests, you usually have a relationship with them and that kind of thing. And they don't have podcasts, but with like the BS, when I'm, it's a different type of show. The guests that I have coming in there, even people that I'm friends with, they have their own podcast. They don't want to do anyone else's podcast. They're like, I want to be able to control what I have to say. And that's especially with comedians, comedians, they've got their own thing. So why go somewhere else? And why give some other podcast the downloads when I can say what I want to say on my own show? I get it. I totally get it. I absolutely get it. Not to say that I am not open for interviews on anyone else's podcast to promote these podcasts. So I'm,
it's just, I mean, it's covered. We're covered, it's like, we're paying a guy, Jeff Mosey, to do our content and photography for the show. So if I know other photographers that want to come shoot, of course I will grant them access. But if if I either half know them or if I feel like they're just trying to get into the show, or you know what I mean. Like then I'm kind of like, we're covered, man. Like it just, I don't know. I don't want to step on his cock either. We're paying the guy to do it, so I'm like, you know, like we're good, man. You know, now of course if it's certain guys, yes, but I don't know. Yeah.
Have you ever ended an interview early, and if so, for what reason?
I probably have before, but it was probably just more like either the person didn't know. Like I'm not gonna mention names, but like we did one in Rocklahoma, and one of the interviews, like it had no energy, man. It was just like, really? I mean, now granted, there's a lot of bands over the weekend and everything, and you can't know what's going on with every band, or can you? Maybe you should do some research and shit. But one of them, me and Bobby, kind of like, it just felt very amateur and very. So we were just kind of like, okay, just answering the questions with very short responses, just to kind of get through it and get it over with. Or if they ask shit that you're just like, you just go, next question. No, we ain't answering that. Next, and so I mean, it's just, I've seen Jacoby do it, and he does it good, man. From Papa Roach, and if they're fucking with him or they're trying to, get dirt or just poking at him, he'll be like, nope, next question. Okay, fuck this, I'm out, and he'll get the fuck out of there. He does not give one shit.
Yeah,
which I respect that, man. Like, look, hey,
right. So it's a double-edged sword, right? From the interviewer perspective. And I've had some bad ones. George Thorogood, John Frusciante. Oh my God.
Y'all about got in a fight. That one, I know that story. Not in a fight, but he was being a total dick about the drugs, and you didn't even mention drugs and shit. That was fucked up, man.
Earlier in my career, like when I came up in this business, it was that shock jock era, right? So you're trying to find something, no matter how you find it, in order to get attention for promotion. Unfortunately, I subscribed to that, earlier in my career, and I regret it now to this day. It was just the thing, it's like you grew up in the 80s, you said and did things, and now it's frowned upon. It was just a thing, now in my career. And I look, anytime I get a guest on, it's just so much more comfortable just to be cool, man. Have a conversation. People love, Chad Kroeger from Nickelback was probably he said one of the coolest things to me that I've ever, and I've interviewed a lot of people, I've ever had anyone say, and this wasn't that long ago. We were talking and we were recording, and it was for the radio show, but I was going to re-air it on my podcast, and he knew that. And I don't like time limits. I don't like somebody saying it's got to be 3 minutes. It's got to be. I hate that. You can't put a time limit on a good conversation, because the good shit comes like randomly 10 minutes into it. You don't even expect it. It's organic.
Right.
And so we're talking, and I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, Jesus, man, we've been talking for like 30 some odd minutes. I said, Chad, I don't want to end this conversation because I'm really enjoying this. I got a million more questions for you, brother. But I'm assuming you've got other stuff to do and probably other interviews. He goes, no, I've already canceled them all. He goes, while we're talking. I said, you did what? He said, I had 9 other radio interviews that I was supposed to do, but I just texted my guy and told him I'm canceling them. He's like, this is the best conversation I've ever had. This is like doing a podcast. And even though it was for the radio show that I was going to re-air it on the podcast, I got so much heat for it afterwards from my dickhead boss. But I was like, that's the good stuff. When you get a guy like Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, who's been interviewed by everybody on the biggest of scales, and just little old me, he says, this is the best conversation I've ever had. So much so that I'm canceling, which means he lost promotion with 9 other radio stations. That's huge, dude. Right. And that's the good stuff.
That's a big compliment. I mean, that's Nickelback still is considered.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're A-list, they're top of the list as far as top tier on all these festivals. They still put out hit records. I mean, so to have that come from someone that's probably not always stoked to even do an interview at this point. He's probably like, fuck this. Yeah. Really. I mean, I know he's probably bound by contract to promote those records though. So he kind of fucking has to, but maybe he's not, maybe he's free and clear. Who knows? But just saying, for him to say that to you, that's pretty special, man. I mean,
is that how that works in the music business? Like when you're getting ready to release an album, I mean, go back, Shine Down, Fuel, even now Saliva, is like somebody sits down with you, your manager, and says, okay, here's the release date. Here are the tour dates. I've got radio or podcast or media. I've got media for you guys. Brad, you're obligated to do 10 of these. Is that how that works?
Pretty much. When you sign the record deal, there's language in the deal that says you will do anything and everything to promote said records that we release. We can use your likeness without your permission on poster, whatever. Even if you hate the picture, they can still put it on there. It's like you kind of give up some rights, and you also agree to do any and all promotion within reason for said record or records. And we did a 6-record deal. I mean, there are instances, I guess, where, and that's, having Bill McGathy as the manager, he helped sort of guide us through a lot of the media and the press stuff, because especially with radio stations, because back then when radio was still, breaking bands and a thing. Yeah. There would be competing stations, of course, in certain cities. So, well, one station might be granted an interview. The other station might be granted an interview and an acoustic performance. And so they would get pissed at each other or at us or at our manager or the label, because there would typically be a label rep there as well, like a regional rep that would, try to get spins for Atlantic artists in the region there. So yeah. But beyond that, we actually, when I was in the band, we used the label's publicists.
Mm-hmm.
Now some bands choose to hire an outside publicist, which, our guys were pretty good. But at the same time, at that time, we were so new and we were up against so many other acts on the label. It was like, hey, we got you in Penthouse acting like you're shooting a squirrel. And we were like, okay, cool. Penthouse is kind of cool, but that's it. I mean, how about TRL? Yeah, how about some? I mean, and they got us a couple late night shows. We did Craig Ferguson when I was in the band. We did Conan. I'm sure you might have seen that. And there was what was that Canadian thing? Much Music or whatever was happening at the time with Julia. I don't know if you remember this. Like just music all day on a station, like a cable TV station. And we did Kimmel. We did the outside stage and inside, but we were very sort of like, and it always bummed Brent out, because Brent would be like, did they just not give a shit? And I'm like, Brent, there's like all these, like, stand in line, dude. We had, and by that time, had we even sold a gold record yet, we're up against multi-platinum selling artists that were getting the label's attention, period, at the end. And that changed on the 3rd record. You notice when Sound of Madness came out, now all of a sudden, damn, we sold a lot of records on this rock band, this, knuckle dragging Southern rock band from wherever the fuck. Half of them didn't even know or care, dude. It was weird. Like, I remember specifically going one time. Okay, so let me back up. So Atlantic brought the Darkness over, and I don't know if you remember when the Darkness first came over from.
I'm a little thick on that.
Yes. And we go into the Atlantic offices, and they're just tits about, that's all they're talking about, right? Whatever, they had modest success. So then us and them's coming out, and we're like, oh, we should go up to New York and take some meetings with the label and discuss things and everything. So we go up there, and they had some intern. Did I tell you this before?
No.
They had this intern make like photo, like color copies of the record cover and like tape them all over the offices, because back then Atlantic had a couple floors, right? Because that's when people, now they might have an office on one floor up there, like, because shit's different now. But back then in 2005 or 6 or whatever the fuck it was, they had several floors, and I'm talking Avenue of America's high rise. We're up like we had to take 2 elevators to get up there because the first one couldn't go high enough, right? I mean, this was gangster shit, right? But anyway, we go up there, and some kid had put, the cover of us and them up there. And we were like, Brent was like, really? That's it? That, and then there was, now the radio staff there, I saw Leah Pizzacani when we did the show up there, when Mary and the boys and I went to see them at Madison Square Garden, and she was great. Ron Poor was great. Like the radio department gave a fuck because
Ad Rock.
they Ad Rock. Well, Ad Rock was at McGathey though. He wasn't at Atlantic. He's at he was
Right.
at
Yeah. Indigo. Yeah.
but he helped sort of quarterback. Of course, Mike Childs back then was actually Bill's right hand man. Anyway, Tony Couch, but we had Corey Sheridan and G-Man were our day-to-day guys at management. But just speaking about the label, like it took almost those 2 records to prove to them that we could sell records.
Mhm.
And they didn't really give us a lot of the resources. So when you saw Sound of Madness come out, now all of a sudden I'm like, wow, what a difference to have the labels like resources at your disposal. That record sold a lot of they put out like 6 or 7 singles.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great record, no doubt. But I mean, that was the time. That was, of course, I was out of the band by then, so I didn't even get to feel the power of that.
I remember when The Darkness was signed by Atlantic, and I was talking with Brent. I don't remember the entire story. I just remember, I think I'm getting this right. He had told me that he went and did a writing session with the lead singer of The Darkness. And I don't want to put, because I don't remember, so I don't want to put words in his mouth and get in trouble. But I just remember him saying it was interesting. I just, because I thought it was interesting. I was like, why? Like, that's the oddest pairing I've ever heard of. What are you doing? And that's the problem with Shinedown. Is Shinedown, still to this day struggles with getting that crossover mainstream success. I'm not talking about radio play, but they just did something the other day that was, I think, huge. And I'm sure definitely for Brent and definitely for Zach, being Memphis guys, is being able to perform, I believe, right? First time on the
actually, Zach is Memphis, Brent is Knoxville originally.
Yeah, but still Tennessee guys.
Tennessee guys, absolutely,
yeah.
yes. Yeah.
So for the first time,
the Grand Old Opry, and
Grand Old Opry,
yeah, it's huge, dude. Fuck, are you kidding me? And unfortunately, a lot of the critics kind of panned the band. I don't know if some of them, I guess, got it or understood it, but like, as far as like Grammys and stuff, they kind of, I don't know why they were never, they had to have, the label had to have submitted the songs and the records to the Grammys for consideration. And it was so odd to me that a lot of, even when I was there, and I think even to this day, I mean, they got an iHeart Award somewhat recently, but it was really kind of annoying how
that's a rigged award show,
I know, but it's something, man. And when you're in the band for that long and you put out that many songs and fucking records, it might be nice to get an award or at least a nomination. Fuck, I mean,
go back to the Grand Ole Opry thing. No, I want to, don't skip over that because go ahead. They did a song for the first time called Searchlights. Good song, but what was interesting about the song was that they had a steel guitar in it, which screams country music. So let me ask you, do you think that song was specifically made for the performance at the Grand Ole Opry because of the steel guitar?
I wouldn't know unless I can ask Barry, but I mean,
just a guess. I mean, in your professional opinion, I mean, they have no other songs that might have some type of country crossover feel, but yet they debut this new song that has a slight sound. You see what I'm getting at here?
Yes. Okay. So what I would say is maybe the song was written, right? And, you could make a hip hop song. You could make it a dance song, whatever. You've seen remixes and things happen to these songs. My guess would be the song was written and they were like, that almost has like a country feel to it. And then maybe someone got a hold of it and put the lap steel or put some other instrumentation in it to give it that sort of that feel.
Do you think
it's hard to say, man? I mean, Brent's Southern to the bone, dude. Like early on, man. Like I mean, listen, he's still got. I mean, I'm Southern too. Like the whole band. Like so, it's kind of funny though because when we first started the band, they wanted to take the Southernness out.
Yeah,
they wanted us to sound like Linkin Park or like like very more like West Coast modern. Like they didn't want him like the blues part of his voice, which he's a great like he's got a very very good bluesy. Naturally just gifted that way his voice. they were like, "Nah, can you sound a little bit more like, this?" And that was tough because you signed that deal, and they could be like, "Okay, well, we could just put it on the shelf
Mhm.
next."
Do you think
So
that do you think
anyway,
that do you think that Brent could do country music?
oh, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's got that like he can hit that some of those low tones like I mean he could be a hell of a country singer. I
If
think he
he
just stays in his lane though, man, and he just it's rock and roll, man. Like I mean, he's does have those influences, but I mean, I think it's smart that the band has stayed at least true to more of the rock, maybe pop leaning now, of course,
Mhm.
stylistically. And like when I was in it, though, me and Jason were trying to bring more metal, and I mean, especially Jason. You listen to some of his guitar licks and songs that he was a part of, and I mean that shit
Well,
was
if Brent were to sing the way he talks, because Brent has got, I mean,
he does.
he's
He's
got
got
a southern drawl,
he does.
and a pretty. I mean, it hasn't gone away, but you can't hear it when he sings, which is remarkable. It's kind of like a British singer sounding like they're from the United States.
Right.
So, I mean, if he were to find a way to tap into that, I would love to see it. I would be interested because, and I've said this from day one with the guys, with you guys and the guys in Shinedown, is Brent is without a doubt still to this day one of the best, if not best, vocalist in rock music. I mean, it's like you look at the greats, like unmatchable Chris Cornell. You know what I mean? And a lot of these rock stars, even from the 80s, you can make fun of the glam rock days all you want, but those lead singers, I mean,
Yeah. Sebastian Bach, hell of a singer. Yeah. The
Axel
Axl Rose
Smash,
Axel back in the day. Yeah. Hell
oh
yeah,
my,
dude.
all of them.
Tom Kiefer still sings like his ass off, dude. I mean, there's like some serious
Yeah,
badass singers from back then. Yeah. Yeah,
and you
man.
listen to George Tate. I mean, or Jeff Tate, excuse me, Jeff Tate. You listen to
Oh, he was fucking great. He still sing pretty
still
good
great.
too.
It's
Yeah.
like hitting those notes and that up and that down. I mean, that was 80s rock, but you're like, dude, that's a great, like you could sing opera if you want. Sebastian Bach did, he went and did Broadway
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So it's pretty amazing. You know what I mean? I mean, the 90s brought, I think, less talented vocalists and more entertaining gimmicks as far as bands go. You know what I mean? Like Kurt Cobain was not a good singer, but he was different. He was a great lyricist.
I was gonna say those lyrics and really the delivery and the attitude.
Yeah.
It was something that you just couldn't ignore, and it completely ended a lot of people in the 80s career, good singers or not. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You read, especially Nevermind. I still like when as it's going through. I'm on my Apple Music, and the lyrics are going through the song as he's singing it, and I'm like, God, it's so clever and like so it's such a breath of fresh air, and it wasn't about cocaine and partying and pussy. It was more like it was just real shit. But it was poetic as fuck too,
mhm.
man. God, it was good. If you, it's funny because Chris Cornell made the joke that when Johnny Cash covered Rusty Cage, he was like, "Wow, when I sang it, no one gave a fuck." But now that everyone's, now Johnny Cash does it, now everyone sees the lyrics to Rusty Cage. Go back and look at that shit. Really, to me, Bad Motor Finger lyrically too is up there with some of the best lyrics. I'm like, what was he on when he was writing this shit, bro? Because that's special, dude.
Mhm.
Seriously. I mean, I'm not even talking about just like Outshined and shit like that. Like, look at some of the deeper cuts, and you'll be like, it's pretty. It's pretty. It's of course super unknown too, but
Well, think
um,
about Hurt by Nine Inch Nails. Great song.
yeah,
Trent
yeah,
Reznor, amazing,
yeah,
talented artist. But
great,
Johnny Cash doing Hurt, especially at that time
yeah,
when, right before he passes, he did it better than Trent Reznor did it, because you understood the lyrics of the song.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. And when Trent did it, I've seen some documentary stuff and everything. When that record in particular, they intentionally put these sounds into the recording of the song that made you want to just like frustrating, like like weird fucking sounds like in the loops and shit that was going on. I can't remember the doc, but I was like, remember seeing them doing that, and I'm like, no wonder, because there are especially for Downward Spiral is the record I'm talking about. there's some it kind of gets under your skin in some ways. I don't
Yeah.
know if you can imagine this, but when Johnny Cash did it, man, just the hurt in his voice, like just the sound of the delivery. I hurt myself.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, like the first fucking line, I'm like, oh, I'm heartbroken already, man. Stop. It's fuck. And then, I don't know. It's tough though, because of course Trent's the original. He's the creator of the song. It was his vision, the way he did it, which is still a great, amazing version, of course. Yes.
But it's not always the best version. The original version is not always the best version. And think about this. There's a lot of songs. I mean, more than people know, whether it's the entire song or just a sample size of the song or a riff of the song or whatever of a song that stems back way before that song was ever released. There's a, Butterfly by Shifty.
Oh yeah.
Well, how that song starts,
that's a Chili Peppers song.
And it was a song before that. And
yeah. You're talking about, so it was on, it was before Blood Sugar. It was Mother's Milk. And the song was,
no. Like it went back to like the 40s or 50s.
Oh, the Chili Peppers even ripped it. Oh shit! I did not know that. Okay,
yeah,
so
the sound of
Crazy Town. That's like three times it had been lifted. Then by the time Crazy Town did it, then
right.
At least.
I forget where I saw that on a documentary, but it's like just amazing. I don't look at it as it being stolen. I look at it as you being influenced by it. I think I told you this story before with Dave Grohl. He was being interviewed by Chance the Rapper, and Chance the Rapper asked him, how does it feel to be the greatest drummer or something like that? And Dave goes, and started talking about Smells Like Teen Spirit. And he goes, the drums on that, I stole from like 70s, like black music bands, and he went through the different bands and they showed clips of the bands and you're going, holy shit, that's Smells Like Teen Spirit. You got these guys in these polyester suits, styling and profiling. And I'm going, oh my God, so everything has an influence from well before. Very few people, right, Brad, are the originators of a sound this day and age. Very few.
Definitely not this day and age. It's hard to find, something that's completely original. And then, I mean, I don't know how it would even be possible.
Right.
It's just, there's just been so much music that's been put out, especially with when the internet happened and really the gatekeepers that were the people at the labels from back in the day, that you had to go through those people because you couldn't record it on your own because the technology wasn't there. So you had to go into the studio vis-a-vis a contracted, label or producer, and it was very expensive to record too, because you're recording the 2-inch tape. Those tapes are expensive. They're hard to deal with. You had to have a guy that knew how to run the tape machine. Like my buddy that just passed quite recently, Pete Thornton, who actually helped get me into Shinedown, was a really good, he worked out of studios, and that was his thing, was the tape, the 2-inch tape. That's almost like a lost art. Like, good luck finding someone that knows how to fuck with those machines, because you have to place it on there properly. I mean, it's an art to it, and
you're talking about reel to reel, right?
Like the old Studer 2-inch, like what everyone used to have to record onto.
Yeah, like the big
Studer, big reels. Yeah.
Reel to reel. Yeah. That's how I learned to edit and radio. I learned on that. Yeah. Cutting and splicing. I mean,
there's a funny story about Lars's drum tracks back in the day. They're like, there's this drum track and it's cut into like a million pieces.
Yeah. That's
but it still sounded killer at the end of the day. But yeah, it was fucking that was the Pro Tools editing of the day, was you had to cut the tape up.
That for those that don't know is where you get on the cutting room floor, more for film. But they would cut up the film and all those pieces would be all over the ground. And I mean, trust me, if you've never done it, you don't want to do it.
Oh God, it's horrible.
It would take me 6 hours to do a 2-minute radio bit. And I was learning on my own. I mean, you're taking a razor blade, you're cutting it at a diagonal, and then you cut it out. Then you take this white tape and then you splice it together, and you just hope and then you're going really slow so you can listen to make sure it matches up. Oh my God.
Yeah, and then even back in the day, even further before there was, you could do 24 at a time or whatever, and you're like the Rolling Stones. Now you have like the backup singers singing in the same room, and they're almost mixing as the track is being recorded. They're having to get the volume sort of in the levels sort of pretty close to what it's going to sound like, because they can't then control those separately because there's not enough tracks to control them, to control each and every guitar part and the drums and every the way everything's mic'd up. So that's why you get like a room sound for the drum kit, because they maybe put like a couple mics up and just kind of captured the sound of the drums in the room, because they didn't have 32 however many fucking mics to mic the kit up properly. Right. They just couldn't do it. They didn't have the resources to do it that way. So that's why some of those old recordings, I'd like to hear, new artists and new technology and how that could sound.
Do people now just record in their bedrooms and somehow release it, and it sounds amazing? I mean, you just use Pro Tools on your Mac laptop and away you go. I mean, I just spent a ridiculous amount of money on a new Mac just for video and audio editing, and I'm sitting there going, every time I do it, I remember when I started in radio, I do a bit called Buckethead's Bum Rap, and every Monday morning I go walk around the streets of downtown Orlando and interview homeless people. Again, different day and age, I know. I give them money, give them change for their time, and I would ask them silly questions, and I'm recording them on a mini disc player. And so in order to edit it, I would have to plug that into my computer in real time and let it run. So I learned to self-edit as I talked, and then give myself direction throughout the recording to make it easier when to chop it up by my inflection. So I would, if there was an edit there, I go, bah, 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 and I could see that in, when I finally brought it up in Adobe Audition. It's different day and age now, man. You can do it on your phone if you want to,
Yeah, man. So, totally, dude.
Yeah. You guys are winding down the Saliva tour. How many dates did you altogether do?
See, if you include like the Rocklahoma weekend, that was 3 shows in a row that weekend. It was a 35 show. No, that's hard to say because 2 of them actually canceled, but then they added 2, and then the Midland show now is not happening. But then they added the other one back in North Carolina. It's all over the place. I'm going to call it, let's say 33. Well, we've done 30 shows. We have 4 left. We have Corpus Christi, we have Houston, Austin, and then Biketoberfest Daytona, which is going to be interesting because originally we were going to fly to that one from Austin, and then fly back to Midland to Texas to do that final show. But now that show's not happening, so we are going to ride in the bus from Austin all the way to Daytona Beach. Okay, and there's going to be 2 drivers that tag team it. So yeah, we've done it before. Actually, I want to say when it was Bike Week and we were out with Hinder, we had a show in Cleveland at the House of Blues, and yeah, they got kind of shoved in the middle of a non-show day for the Hinder tour. And we rode that bus from Cleveland, Ohio, all the way to Daytona. And we roll up at like 5 in the afternoon. We're supposed to play at like 9, right?
Yeah.
And the bands had already set up, and so then we have to start just putting our shit behind their stuff and getting it kind of plugged in. And then the changeover took a bit of time because we already had to patch everything in properly, which normally that's why you get there at noon or whenever to do all that shit beforehand. So then it's already set up, So yeah, that's going to be a hell of a ride.
What's the gig in North Carolina? You said North Carolina.
It's kind of near Norfolk. Bobby, it wasn't happening, and then he just said, "Oh, by the way, North Carolina is happening again on the 25th." So I go, "Okay,
I'm there."
Where are we flying in and out of? You just send me send it over to me, man. Sometimes, yeah, I don't know, man. Sometimes. You just get noticed about things, and you have to plan your life accordingly.
The good news is you finish 2025 as far as a band strong. You release new music. You've got some press with the back and forth with you guys and Josie. That's a good thing, I think.
Yes.
The weird thing about that is it goes nowhere. Like Blabbermouth loves Josie Scott, and they'll keep the article up there, for a couple days, but it doesn't go anywhere. Like there's no legs to it. I'm a firm believer in that there has to be a payoff for everything. And there should be in life. There's a payoff. If you're thirsty, you drink something. If you're hungry, you eat something. If you want to live, you breathe. There's always a payoff to do something. There's no real payoff for this Josie thing.
That's why it doesn't even,
Right.
I think he announced a tour. He's going to do it his way, and we're going to keep doing it our way. And that's the way it's said last time. So it's kind of like,
yeah.
And the legality of it, there's certain things that are still sort of being worked out. But as far as the trademark and the name, though, that's been sorted. That was sorted 5 episodes ago, however long ago, So
we're going on by podcast episodes.
Exactly. Whatever episode I talked about it when it was fucking happening then. So I don't know, man. Like, we've had a good year. It's been an odd year for us, definitely. But I think we got to get out there and still do quite a bit of touring. We still have a few shows too beyond this tour that we're doing. And the Austin Winkler Bobby or Saliva song, I believe, is coming out Friday.
Oh, good. Well,
which
we released this. Yeah.
We shot a video for that on a non-show day. Where were we? Oh, we were near Portland. Yeah, anyway, we were near Portland, and that was the day the Seattle show was supposed to happen. I guess we went on to Vancouver, Washington, and just sort of holed up there and did that video, and before the Portland show, which So all in all, it's been a good year, man. No one died.
That's good.
Fuck, seriously. It's just, you have the year when that happens, and it's like hard to recover from, So like, thank God that everyone's still pretty healthy. We're pretty burnt, after this many shows in a tour, and that's why. So Bobby was going to fly home on the red eye out of Albuquerque, and because he wanted to do Halloween Horror Nights, like he's a big Halloween guy. Yeah. So I was like, let me take a look at that flight. So we ended up on the same flight. I think we left at like 1 a.m. out of Albuquerque to Jacksonville, and literally I got home. I watched some football, which is another subject. I watched the Jaguars. So I fucking watched the Jaguars lose to Seattle, right? And I'm sitting in the chair, and I get a couple hours, right? And so then though Sunday night, I want to say I slept for 15 hours.
15 hours. That's a good nap, man.
And I could have kept sleeping.
Really?
But my wife was like, "Hey, it's it's like noon, and I'd gone to bed pretty early, and I was like, I could still just lay here, dude. I was so fucking tired because I had missed obviously that I barely slept. I can't sleep on planes, man. I have a hard time sleeping sitting up like that, even if I'm hammered or whatever, tranquilize me something. But like, so I got an hour on the plane, and then now also all the accumulated sleep that I missed over the last month and a half sort of just built up, But,
Now you're rested and you can go. Look, things could be worse. You could be in Lylvc's situation where their tour bus broke down. So that's worst case scenario, right? You don't want your tour bus, and I don't even know how they're getting from gig to gig without a bus. Are they walking?
Well, and I'm not complaining, by the way. I'm very happy to do what I do, but it's been a hell of a ride. Anyway, so we play the whiskey, man, and so I don't know if you know about the whiskey, but they have a system, and part of their system is, we were a 4-band package, and the only bands from the package that played the whiskey that night was Earshot and Saliva. There were 3 other bands on the bill that were not Lylvc or the founder. Now, that wasn't our agent saying, or our agents. It's part of playing the whiskey. They allowed, I guess, our 2 bands support, Earshot as support and the headliner, and then they have these other bands that pay money to be on the show. So, so at least she lives in Beverly Hills, I think, and so they still went to her. I think they just went to her house and hung out or whatever. But they had issues with Yes, I can't remember if it overheated or something, or it blew up, or they had some serious issues with their transportation, so they missed, of course, whiskey because of the reason I just told you, and the Phoenix show, and they missed Albuquerque. And on the tour, there's only 3 Texas shows left at that point. There's, Austin and Corpus and Houston. So if I'm them, I'm like, fuck it. I'm staying in California. Like cut your losses. There's 3 Texas shows left. That how far that is to, of course, right from LA to
Fly in
Corpus
and get an
Christi.
Uber.
That's a long way. So they actually rented a van, like a van to go or something, and they're
Nice.
gonna make good on those 3 shows. I mean, that just is a testament to how serious and how dedicated that band is to doing things. Because a lot of bands would have just been like, "Look, you know what I mean? This shit happened to us, and fuck it, like."
Who were the other bands that play with you at the Whiskey, other than Earshot?
I took a picture of the marquee. Stand by. There are bands that I'd never heard of, and no slight to them. I mean, good on them for getting on those shows. One of them was called Circle the Earth. The other one, Innocence Torn.
Okay.
And then Laura Bryna, looks like.
Cool. All right.
So it became a 5-band bill, and it's not exactly a huge room or stage, but some of these things you just.
The Whiskey, like I'm trying the documentary on the Whiskey. It was owned by the guy, and then he passed, and then his son took over. Mm-hmm. Right? Am I right on this? No, like Hoobastank got their break from the Whiskey.
Jim Morrison played the. I mean, like a lot of Guns. It was a big thing, in the '80s. Of course, Sunset Strip, Whiskey was a big deal. Of course, I mean, it's a legendary. It's a fucking legendary place, no doubt. But I was just saying that they didn't play that show because of those. I mean, maybe the perceived draw of the first of 2 on a 4-band bill. For those 2 bands, the Whiskey would make better money if they just had someone pay to play, and those bands just. I get it has to make sense for them in their business model, I guess, and that's how they solve those situations,
Right. Yeah. It's tough. Man. I mean, I can only imagine going out there, especially if you're a new band. I mean, that's the worst case scenario. Trust me, as a radio person, get hired to go do appearances and like nobody shows up. It is humbling. And you're a band, and you might even have a semi-hit song or had a semi-hit song, and you go out to a room and there ain't nobody in that crowd. Dude, what I saw the other day? I saw a video.
We actually had a good crowd, though. It was just
I'm talking about you. I'm just talking about it.
Okay.
Relax.
Sorry, I was like, hold on now. People didn't show up. Like
I'm talking about it.
We've had some stinkers, but no, yeah, that's fucking. It's heartbreaking to look out there and
I saw
if it's not.
I saw a video of the living member of Milli Vanilli. I don't know which one he is, the Milli or the Vanilli, and he was doing his thing in his getup like this just recently. And he was performing at like an older folks home or something like that. So they panned the crowd, and it was just like a room, like just a regular room. And my man is up there on like this small little lift stage doing his thing, dancing and stuff like that. And I felt I could only imagine. I mean, you're talking about a guy. I mean, I know they were a gimmick and all that stuff, but selling out arenas back in the early 90s. And now you're doing that to make ends meet. Jesus. Like you look at a guy like Youngblood, all right, who, what did he do? Youngblood sold out his next North American tour next year in 1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute it was sold out.
We got tickets to the Hollywood show.
Oh, really?
My wife and I did. Yeah. She was on there trying to do it, and it like broke the internet or something. And so she was like, we were trying to go to Orlando, that show, and it like kicked her out. I don't know if it puts you in a queue, and then if there's so many people in the queue, it's a timing thing or whatever. So I think that would have been June 1st. So the second is the Hollywood Hard Rock, or the one down there in Seminole. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we got 2 for that one at least. So
how much were they?
Yeah, man.
How much were they?
She bought them. I don't know, man. But
do you find that weird? Don't you feel like, as a fellow musician with success, that you should be invited to these shows if you want to go?
I'd love to meet the guy. If nothing else, I'll pay for the fucking ticket. I don't care. I'll support him that way. But I mean, I just want to be like, I just want to like talk to the guy for like 2 minutes, or a couple minutes, just say hello and just tell him I respect what he's doing, and like I'm stoked for him and congrats, and like just be cooler. Let's just see what he's about. Like, and when it's not on camera and shit, and he's just doing his thing. I think he'd be a hoot to hang with, but if I could drink with him, I don't know. Just like I think he'd be cool. I'm pretty sure. I'm hoping that through management or something, I can kind of coordinate something like that. But we'll see. I mean, the guy at this point he's big time these days already. I mean, and he was already kicking some ass, but now like I'm actually surprised he's playing some of the places he's playing.
Me too.
I mean, it looks good as a sellout. When the places sell out, of course, you don't want to play to half empty rooms because you got greedy and you wanted to get the bigger room. It's smart. They're doing it right. I think it's like when Daughtry first came out. Like he had superstardom on Idol. He played the Freebird here in Jacksonville. At the Jacksonville Beach, which is just not even there anymore. That's like a 700 cap room. And you have Daughtry that's been on American Idol. And, granted, he had like a record out, and I think only a couple singles even at that point. So he could have a hard time playing an hour because like you might not even have an hour on the record. It might be like 45, 12 songs. It may not even be long enough. So, but of course it sold out. So that was smart though. They did it that way. And the next time it came around, different story.
Right.
He's in a big room,
I couldn't tell you a song Youngblood sings. I could not sing a song from the guy, but I want to go see him perform. It's very weird. He's a very weird talent. Like he's got every element. He checks off all the boxes of a pure rock star, right? Everything. Yeah. One of the big differences is he's humble. Like you would think of like that rock star, shirts off, they got the leather pants and they're like, I'm a rock star, kiss my ass, get out of my way. But he's like, you see him on his social media and whenever he's doing it, he's like the nicest, most humble guy that you could possibly meet. And I think it's real. I think it's genuine. So that's like one of the big differences, but he's not known for a song. Name a song Youngblood sings. You can't.
Like I said, Fleabag. Fleabag came out years ago, though. I mean, Fleabag's when I was like young. It's actually cool. He kind of reminded me of like, and then of course, with this last record, he covered Kiss tune, and then he got big changes, the whole Ozzy thing. But no, I mean, we listen to it around here all the time, man.
But there's not. My point is it's not like Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, boom, Saliva, click, click, boom, boom. Shine Down, Fly, boom. When you have that big hit song that you're synonymous with, that everybody's coming to your show, no matter what else you do, you can do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 other songs. Nobody cares. They just want to hear that one song. I couldn't tell you a Youngblood song that I would be waiting to hear. I just want to go see Youngblood as a performer. It's very interesting because he's got that charisma and that what they call it factor. I don't even think people care about what song he's singing. I think they just want to go be a part of whatever he's starting. It's a different kind of rock vibe. I've never seen anything like it. It's pretty cool. It's different, but it's cool.
I say good on him, man. Like he's kicking ass, and whatever reason people show up, fuck it. I mean, as long as they show up, right? I mean, and whatever he's got and his energy and his world and what's happening with him is pretty incredible. Incredible.
But think about that. Name me a rock band. Okay. Pop artists are different, right? Pop artists, that's their formula. Name me a rock band that people would want to go see just to watch them perform and wouldn't care about the music or don't even care. You personally, a rock band.
I got one for you.
Okay.
Gwar. I can't name one fucking Gwar song, but that's a good, cool fucking thing to go see. But Gwar is one of the maybe a few that that you go and you just watch it because it's when they're doing crazy ass shit up there.
Perfect example. That or Vegas Guys,
or Insane Clown Posse. That shit's pretty crazy, live. But,
who are the guys that dress up like the '80s guys? Michael Starr. Is it Michael Starr?
It is. He was at that last whiskey show that we did. So Steel Panther. But
Steel Panther. Yeah. Nobody can name a Steel Panther song, but you go, and I've seen him perform. I got engaged at a Steel Panther concert. You go to watch them perform because they're great performers. Yeah. So it's that's a fun game to play. You guys listening right now, I'm on to something, you start kicking that around. A rock band that you would go see, you don't care about what they sing, and maybe you can't even name a song that they sing, but you're just going for the performance and want to be a part of whatever it is that they're doing. Gwar, Steel Panther, Insane Clown Posse. I don't know. Finish the list. Got any more?
Some of those bands that well, actually, man, I didn't know any of the Slaughter to Prevail songs, but they fucking kicked ass. I mean, it didn't matter. That shit was so impressive just to watch them on stage. They wear masks and shit too, and everything. But it was like I became a fan immediately. Like I was like, fuck. I mean, I just the musicianship was like insane, dude. And honestly, I don't know a whole lot of Gojira songs either, but like the one I know, it's a few of them, whatever. But their performance was unbelievably good. It was like the production and the pyro and the just the all the videos and all the everything they had ripping was just really well done. That I'm talking, of course, referring to when we played with them in Sacramento for Aftershock, but absolutely that was so cool to see as a musician. You always want to, I've been doing it a long time, and to see people out there that are doing it that big, and it looked expensive too, in the rock and metal world, especially in the metal world. I mean, that's a lot, man. And you that shit, that every time those flames go up, every time you hear a blast, you're talking about a lot of money. And there's insurance, and I mean, I'm serious. That's why otherwise everyone would carry around pyro, right? Or the cryo with the gas and all the shit. It's very expensive, dude.
Well, you go to Publix around 4th of July, load up on some poppers. You can skirt some of those pyro. Look, dude, Saliva needs pyro, dude. I've got no problem doing it. I'll have those little poppers for you.
We actually did do cryo at Rocklahoma because those folks were already there, and you could sort of a la carte do some pyrotechnics because the company was already there. And so we did some cryo Rocklahoma. Now the Danny Wimmer festivals, that same that if we'd have done the same, it would have been about 3 or 4 times the cost. So we didn't have any cryo at the Aftershock, but, and that's not no slide on him or them, but that company was at least 3 or 4 times more expensive. That shit.
Name me, in your opinion, just like as a fan, right? Bands that are better performers than they are singers. Like you much rather enjoy the show than what they're singing over the microphone.
Man, that's a tough one. Who you're setting me up? Who do you think?
No, I don't know. I don't have. I mean, there's a lot of great performers.
Yeah,
but I tend to. I couldn't name off the top of my head an act that I've seen and said, "Oh my God, they're just great performers," but their songs weren't all that good. Some of in today's rock world, just my taste of people that I love on stage. I also like what they sing. Papa Roach, I think I've never seen or even heard of them doing a bad live show. Hollywood Undead, I love that band. And those guys put on a phenomenal live show. And a live show to me is somebody up on stage that is performing because they care. I mean, I've seen artists get up there and it looks like they don't give a shit and they're just collecting a paycheck. I've seen that a million times. And I've been turned to, even some bands that I like their music. And I was like, you don't care? I don't care. I'm not interested anymore. I've seen that a lot. You see that with artists close to December when they're trying to get a last couple gigs in before the end of the year.
Just like a money grab, but they're like phoning it in. Basically, they're like, they can give a fuck.
Especially if you live in a city like Orlando where they're coming to vacation, so they use this as a tax write-off. They're like, hey, we can perform at the fill in the blank, and they'll go do some gig and they'll get through it. And you're like, all right, I know the deal, man. You're just coming here for a tax write-off and a paycheck. That's cool.
And for some Christmas money.
And for Christmas money.
Yeah.
Christmas money.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's a weird world out there. I mean, me personally, sometimes before this show, I'm like, fuck, man. I don't know if I got it in me tonight, dude. I just don't know because if anyone has ever seen me play, I don't just stand there either. I'm pretty active on the stage. I'm jumping. I'm doing other things, and it's I feel like it is inspired by what we're playing. It's not like some calculated choreographed thing that I do, but some show 6 or 6 in a row of like headlining length like 75-minute shits. I mean, yeah,
I'm
you
starting.
start going.
I'm, I'm starting to hear this. Huh, I don't know if I've got it in me anymore.
Hey man, I'm twice as old as one guy in the band. And again, I'm still doing fucking circles around people, dude. You watch that shit. I'm just saying, mentally in my brain, I'm going, man, I don't know. But I get up there. Of course. Fucking the first, the drum when we come in, all bets are off. I'm back in it. But it's just sometimes the lead up after you're sore, and you're like, oh man. But then the adrenaline kicks in, and it's back to on a level that I don't want to go below ever. If I can help it.
Make sure you're stretching. Make sure you're doing your calisthenics. Make sure you're taking your testosterone and you're being hydrated, and all this.
That's the problem, man. I feel like I'm chronically dehydrated. I don't know about the testosterone thing. I think I have plenty of that. Maybe not. Maybe I need to get it checked. But I did do some yin yoga with my wife earlier before this. And I swear, man, there was it was much needed. My especially my glutes and stuff. I felt like just was really tight. Like this was really bad, dude. Like, I'm not some big yoga guy, by the way. We do it in YouTube. There's this woman. It's boho beautiful, and I swear it's like 20 minutes, and I feel like a new person. So, and I don't wear the tights or anything either. Of course, I'm just kidding. No, but I'm just saying, it fucking helps, man. Of doing what we do and not having a personal masseuse on the road or like an instructor, man. That shit, you got to do that to keep yourself healthy and your blood flowing, man.
Well, you know what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say you need to come down and see me at a live ozone therapy spa. And you're going to experience something you've never experienced before. Especially Bobby needs to come in and do halo therapy for those vocal cords. Like nobody understands it until they do it. And then once they do it, they get it. Our retention rate's like 99.9% with every patient that comes in. If you don't know what ozone therapy is, but those that do know, no.
I'm ready for the Jacksonville location. You're right, 2 hours from me, bro. That'd be a hell of a ride. Now, if I happen to come down,
we have patients from Georgia that fly in. We've got patients from Tampa. We've got a patient from Jacksonville. It's a destination therapy. We got patients from South Florida, Port St. Lucie, Melbourne. They're all over the place. Sarasota, we have one. So it's one of those things. Change your life. Look, there's nothing wrong, Brad, with admitting that you do yoga. Yoga is good for you. It's 2025. You don't have to play the tough guy. We all know that you put on the tight pants and you got the little doggy.
I got my little water bottle and
got your water bottle and your block,
stop shaving my armpits. No, I'm just kidding.
Correct. My buddy Diamond Dallas Page has his own yoga. It's good. I use it with my workouts. It's good.
No, it's not very metal, but I mean, maybe it is. I'm sure. I get the feeling like some of the most metal people out there do that so they can do what they do on stage. They just, I just admitted it, I guess. I don't know. But no, I definitely think, that. And I was trying to, when I first started this tour, do more of that. And I did. And, it kind of started being more here and there. I wanted to be a bit more consistent, that and with some meditation and stuff like that. And it's tough to a little bit tougher when you're like moving around that much, man. Like to find even a place to yourself by yourself is tough. We actually had a day between the Phoenix show and Albuquerque, and I was like, man, Sedona is only like 100 miles from here. And I don't know if you've ever done Sedona. Like I needed Sedona by this point in the tour. I think we all did. So I found, I rented a van, and I found a spot that could house the bus, because there's not really like just some Walmart there. Like I think the nearest Walmart's like 23 miles away or whatever. So you can't just fucking pull the bus in and expect to have parking. Plus the lady at the RV park where we could have parked it was this fiasco there. So anyhow, we end up getting to Sedona and spending the day there, and that hotel had a meditation room, with
Really?
massage chairs in it. And I was actually able to go in there by myself and have my own fucking space and do some yoga. And because you got to imagine, we're piled on a bus. We get to the venue. There may be a hotel you can go to. There may not be. There's 4 bands worth of personnel and people around at all times. Like, and you know what I'm saying? So good luck with that shit.
I've got a question.
Yes.
You're by yourself. Who gave you the massage?
They're massage chairs. You know, those ones you sit back in. Yeah.
Okay. I thought they were just, like a chair where you get a massage and like
No.
Bobby walked in and was like, "Hey man, you need a rub down? This is kind of cool. It's just you and me in this room."
No, they're the $5,000-$10,000 chairs that, I mean, it was awesome, dude. Like it was squeezing my legs. I mean, and so then we found a trail once everyone was up and around and ready to rock. And so we did the airport Mesa loop. So I don't know if you know about Sedona, but in the middle of the area there's a mesa that goes up, and that's where the airport is. Well, there's a loop trail head there, a trail around the airport, and basically it's about 3.5 miles maybe around it, and you get to basically views of the entire area as you go around the trail, right? As you go. And it was awesome, but it had rained. So we're traipsing through the mud on the trails, and it's, some spots it's straight down and shit. So you got to be careful. But it ended up being a really cool thing that the band and a couple of some of the crew did. And they're up there's clean, and that's actually a vortex. So I don't know if you know about vortexes, but Sedona is famous for having at least 7 vortexes that people go to, where the earth is, you're sort of in tune, in sync. It can be energizing for some people. It can bring clarity. Look it up. I mean, Sedona is a magical place, man. It's really cool. My wife and I had done the Chapel of the Holy Cross before, and we did Cathedral Rock. So this time I didn't want to go back to those. I wanted to do something else. And I have to say that the Airport Mesa loop was pretty incredible. Had it not been, rain, it would have been a little bit better, just for my ankles' sake, and just, there was some dangerous spots. And actually we almost ended, it was turning, it gets dark out there, man. Like there's just fucking like dark. There's no lights. So we ended our hike literally right before it got dark, thankfully, because when I went to return the rental car, you couldn't see. It was fucking pitch black. It was weird because there's no street lights. I mean, there's nothing up there, man. Like, but I have to recommend it highly to go to Sedona, Arizona. Fuck yeah. Absolutely.
So Saliva fans, just know the last couple shows after that, you got to re-energize Brad Stewart because he went and vortexed with, some friends out.
That actually energized me. No, so I felt better.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I hope there's new life to my performance. This is performance
right
now, right?
All because of Sedona and the vortex. Who knew?
Look it up, bro. I'm telling you.
Let's finish this up. Last couple dates on the Saliva tour. Probably 2026. Do you have any idea when you'll be announcing anything for next year?
I don't. Well, we changed agencies, but there's some stuff in the works that should be pretty good. We want to go early too in the year, like February, March, like we did this year. Right. But nothing I can't really say anything right now about like who they're looking at, what kind of situations we're looking at. Thankfully, we do, and we've already announced, of course, that we're going to be on Rockville again.
Rockville, yeah.
Of course.
You got to get me in, man. You got to get me in. You got to get.
I know. We need to talk about that whole part with the media.
Yeah, we got to talk about all that. We got to do it up big because I got to order stuff. I got to get stuff, and I'm working on some Vinyl Roadie T-shirts at the merch store and jasonbailey.com. And
I can wear my shirt.
Yes, shirt.
Not that they'll care, or it won't be as big of an impact as it would have been. Sorry, man. Anyway.
No, that's fine. You're gonna have actually a bigger impact in Orlando because my other former station is here. Even though I currently still kind of work for them because the BS is syndicated on 2 radio stations. One is in Orlando at WJRR, and the other is Planet Radio in your neck of the woods in Jacksonville. Yeah. So that's very cool. Other podcast, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right, look, if you don't know about those, please visit jasonbailey.com. The BPX, 3 different shows, 5 days a week, something kind of for everybody. Like Mondays I do a show with my wife called Honey, I Raised the Kids, about us becoming empty nesters and our second stage in life and all that fun stuff. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is more like a radio show, like a guy talk show. And then, of course, Fridays with Brad, we talk rock and roll and all kinds of weird shit and anything in between, vortexes and rock and roll. So there. Thanks to all of our great sponsors, especially our title sponsor, onceuponacoconut.com. You can get all the details on all the sponsors on the newly revamped jasonbailey.com. Please like, share, follow all of our social media. All the shows have their own Instagram. For the Vinyl Road, it's at the Vinyl Road Podcast on Instagram, and the other shows have them as well. That's all linked off of jasonbailey.com as well. For all Saliva dates, go to saliva.com, of course, and follow Saliva on social media, and you will get it. The judge and jury people that do your social media do a phenomenal job. They do a really, like, whoever that guy is really good.
It's actually a girl. She used to date Wayne. Her name's Melody Myers. She's based in Phoenix, so she came out. I believe she's doing it, all of it. So, she does a lot for us, and she works at the label. Yeah, she's great.
Awesome. I would love to have 20 minutes on the phone with her so she can school me on how to do that right.
I could probably make that happen.
She's really, really good. Like, just following the Saliva social media is good. And, and Brad will share a lot with it on the Vinyl Road Podcast Instagram as well. So you guys will get a taste and see the stuff that they're doing. All right, brother, man, you got anything before we get out?
Just thank you. Super grateful for people that support this show, and from rock and roll and rock bands, and the people that are in those bands, and metal, and just the rebellious spirit and the fun that goes into making it and listening to it, and how it, hopefully it changes your life as much as it's changed mine. Just stoked to still be doing it as a pro all these years, and being able to have a platform like this to express ourselves and talk about it and our experiences doing it over time. It's been great, man.
You got to end with getting your vortex on, even though you're frozen right now. So
you froze too, man.
Hey, look, you're frozen. So I finished your sentence. The last thing you're going to say is get your vortex on. That's what
Get your vortex on. Get your vortex on.
Vortex on. I might make a shirt out of that in the merch store. Get your vortex on. I like that. I like the word vortex. It's pretty cool. All right. Look, like Brad said, thank you for the support on this show. We've seen remarkable numbers since we started. We're in episode 20. Continue to do what you do, Vinyl Roadies. Continue to chatter in the private Vinyl Roadies Facebook group, and the reposting on Instagram, and even the watches on the BPX YouTube channel. So thank you very much for the early support as we continue to grow, but we can't do that without you. You know how the internet and social media works. It's always hey, have you heard this podcast? And it comes from you, and a friend hears it, and then a friend passes it on. It's like a book club back in the day, right? That's exactly what it is. Thanks for being here. Have yourself a great, safe rest of your day. If you're going to be doing some drinking, I understand. I get it. But if you had too much, please don't get behind the wheel of a car. I've lost way too many friends like that. You definitely don't want to be posting shit on social media, because you will lose a lot of friends like that as well. We'll talk soon, and bye.
I think we should do a podcast about rock and roll. I got some stories.
That's it for this episode. Check out jasonbailey.com for more shows. Until next time.
All right.
3 different shows, 5 days a week, 1 feed, details, and to subscribe, jasonbailey.com.